Hello and welcome to the Nomad Post. Is your boy Nomad again, and today we'll be talking about the Champions League. As you all know, we are traveling to Italy to play in San Siro against Inter Milan, and this is not the first time we are playing them. They beat us, I think, last season. Again, we are meeting them, so it's time to prove again and see what we have changed and how far we have come. So it's Champions League night again, but unfortunately, it's not in the Emirates. We are traveling, and this is the fourth time in a row we are doing that. I mean, the players have become, tiresome, but it is part of the journey. It's part of they have to persevere because that's what they are paid to do. Despite that, I think they have tried for the last three games. Yes, we drop some point, but we are still doing good in the Premier League, and this is the time to also, and convince people that we are yet there. We are not yet there as trailing or something like that, but we have to prove a lot of people that we can move on from the draw that we just drew with Nottingham Forest and travel to Italy and do something there because this is different match, different concept, different tactics, and everything is different. So now is the Champions League. We have 100 record in the Champions League. We have to maintain that 100 record, but still, this is not it. We know the real games and the most competitive games will start there at the knockout stages. But it's good to build some good foundation and also, a good momentum to go to those knockout stages. So as far as Inter Milan is concerned, I think they are not doing bad in their league. And for the last five games, they have won four, drawing one. Unlike us, we just win three. We won three games and drew the other two. So in terms of momentum and form, I think we are trailing a little bit, but we know what we can produce. We know when it's our day what we can do, and I hope tomorrow is that day. We will be there. Everything will be I more of our favor because I think they are missing also some big players, which we will be covering later on. So in terms of what to expect from the match, I think the last time we played them, it was Simeone Inzaghi, and now it's Chivu. I think Chivu. So two different managers, but still, as we all know, the DNA of Inter Milan and the style of play they always play is back three. Despite them changing managers over the years, new manager comes in, he doesn't come with different tactics and style, and I think that's a very very good thing to adapt, and maybe many teams in the Premier League can benefit from that. And because you bring in a manager, first of all, when you are going for the manager, you need to be sure you know he has something in him that matches the DNA of the club, because the club cannot lose its identity. You cannot come in and try to bring another tactic. If I give you a good example, it's with the Manchester United. Robin Amorim, he came in, he's trying to bring in new system, and that's not the DNA of the club. You know, so the owners of Inter Milan, I think they are very smart. Whoever they are bringing, they have to make sure these guys know that we are expecting this from him, and also this is the way we have been playing for all those years. This is what we are expecting from you without you bringing in so many problems, you know. And over the years, every manager comes in, it's back three, 3-5-2, and maybe they manipulate the lineup, but the formation and the DNA is the same. So we are playing Chivu, but the DNA is same, as I said. So will Mikel be able to break down this Inter Milan team? And as I said earlier in my video, I think last week, this was a Nottingham Forest game was a very hard game because it was the main event for us in the Premier League. Because when for the last I think 1 month, all we were focusing was the Premier League, and Nottingham Forest was a big game for us because we were playing the third game away. Some tiresome was there. Some people did not play and good minutes. So that was for the Premier League. But I also said that if we break down Inter Milan, if we break down Inter Milan very well and we outplay them, I think we are there among the people that are considered. Of course, right now we are being considered the title favorites or the trophy, UCL trophy. We are there up there. The odds are favoring us. Everything is favoring us. But s- that was the case 2 seasons ago. Things were favoring us. Bayern Munich or Arsenal, everybody, players. I remember Raya saying we want to win both. A good mentality, but at the end of the day, we were not enough to go to the finals and maybe win it. So, but this season, we are a little bit better with the squad depth and the amount of players that are showing up. So Inter Milan, they play very very congestive tactic, and we have seen that we have been struggling to break down low block teams, but this Inter Milan team, they are never low block. I don't know, they play in a way that they defend in a unit and they will counter attack you with the both fullbacks Dumfries and Demarco, very very good two players who knows the system very well. So if we outplay them just the way PSG did, if we outplay Inter Milan, I will be convinced that this season we have changed something in the team, because these are the kind of teams that are very difficult to play with. And to add, we are playing at their home. So I'm really, really anticipating for that game. I'm really, really waiting how Mikel will, try to break down the tactics of Chivu and everything. So that will be a good. Yes, Somali, bro. You are Somali, bro. Yeah, bro, I'm Somali. So, and as I said earlier, it will be very good tactical battle between Chivu and mostly for Mikel Arteta to try to break down this Inter Milan team, because it's not about the manager or the what, but we need to have that edge, to play a very nice game, to play a very convincing game, because I believe Inter Milan is a very difficult team to play against. So it will be a very interesting one, and to really, really wait for it. As far as the team news is concerned, I think we are still missing Calafiori and Hincapie, but Musquera was at the bench, but didn't get any minute against Nottingham Forest, but it's a positive thing. For Calafiori and Hincapie, we are still waiting for a press from the manager, and we will see what he will say, and maybe I'll update you. So, and on the other side of Inter Milan, the two big players are missing, and there are two people that are very pivot for their system and the way they play, and that is Hakan and Dumfries are missing. So maybe it's an advantage for us. Those two players are very good. Remember last time when we met those guys, and we lost to a penalty, which was scored by Hakan. So, but this game is missing, and we are waiting, for Nkapie and our guys more from the manager. So, in terms of the lineup prediction, this is my predicted lineup. So, I think this is basically how we play every day. But I have picked Miles Lewis Skelly there at left back, because I think Skelly is getting out of hand, because he's becoming rusty. The other day he came in and he was not good enough. He was losing a lot of balls. He was nowhere to be found in the pitch. But now, and I think Mikel has to give this guy more minutes since the Champions League now is back. And I think he will get his minutes. And also in the Premier League, I think he deserves. He's a good player. And the more you bench a player, the more the sharpness goes down and everything. So for Gabriel Saliba, Timber, that's obvious. Zubimendi, Rice, Odegaard, Saka, Gyökeres, Trossard, all of them. I think it's basically predictable. We can predict our lineup even in our sleep. That's how good we are. That's how far we have come. Because I remember us having just one lineup. You know, you sleep and you know tomorrow who's playing tomorrow. You know Konshinli, Pao Matasaka, Bellerin, and Montreal. That's our back four with no good substitution. But now we have came from far. Mikel has changed a lot from the team, and for that reason, he will always have my respect and my backup because we need to win something, of course, with him. We are waiting for it. We have been waiting for a very long time, and also it's been long, since 2019 December until now. He hasn't showed really something. Yes, he won a FA Cup, but so did Oliver Glasner, and he's not considered a title-winning team, Crystal Palace. So we did win the FA Cup, and this squad that is here, I think only Saka did that. The other guys are hungry to get a medal on their hand with this Arsenal shirt, especially Declan Rice. So does this season end up to prove, that we deserve something? We have played well. I think we're in the middle of the season right now, and we have played well. And so, yeah, I hope it's too early to predict anything because it is just January. We have almost half of the season to go. Knockout stages, very serious games are coming and ahead of us. But are we there? You always have to be in the conversation for you to be considered, or for yourself to consider yourself you are winning something. So be in the conversation, stay there in the conversation, and try to, find your way into it. We have been in the conversation for the last 2 years. As far as the Premier League is concerned, we are there for the last 3 seasons. But now is the time to find yourself in. Not every season we try to talk about, or we almost got it. We are missing a CDM, bring Declan Rice in. We are missing a number 9, a goal scorer. We brought in Gyökeres for goals. And guess what? He has just 5 goals in the Premier League, same as Trossard. And that's our top scorers in the Premier League. Erling Haaland, the guys that we are competing with, they're going for 20 goals. So, of course, one guy cannot win you the league unless he is Haaland. So we have to do a lot of teamwork. Goals have to come from everywhere corner of the pitch. And the thing that I always say is that if we get one guy who is having a good momentum, I think he will, 5 games, 6 games, a good momentum from Saka, scoring, assisting, and then it shift to Trossard, again it shift to Odegaard. I think we will end up pushing up to the limit. Just the other season, Martinelli scored 14 goals, Saka scored 14 goals, Odegaard, they're all having double digits. So as of now, nobody has double digits in our team. The top scorer in the Premier League is just 5 goals with Gyökeres and Trossard. So for the match prediction, always I have to back my team up. And considering Inter Milan missing Hakan and also Dumfries, who are very, very important players for them, I have gone with a 2-1 win for the Arsenal. I know it's very, very difficult away from home. I understand this is bold, but we have to get this for us to play well in that Manchester United game, because we cannot draw, 3 games in a span. This is a very important game, both in the Champions League and in the Premier League, because this is, you are building momentum. You win this game, you will be saying, you know what, I've gone 4 away games and I've only dropped points in 1 game. So we are playing home. We are playing against Manchester United, who have been excellent against Manchester City. So this game has to be won, and I hope things will go in our favor. Inter Milan is always a very, very hard game to play against, especially at their turf. So that is my score prediction. For the goal scorers, I don't know really, because nowadays we don't have that the guy who maybe Trossard, because that's the only guy who is on form and the guy that we know he can do something. These other guys, there's spark missing, a little bit of spark missing from Odegaard, Saka, Gyökeres, all of them. So the only guy that I am sure that has been delivering is Trossard, and I think we have bottled some point the last two games because the form of Trossard has come to an end. Trossard was having a good games, assisting, scoring, playing very well. And again, when it's over, someone else has to take over. And as I said previously, it's always about individual form and individual momentum. Trossard played very well. It ended. We needed another person to pick it up, you know, to move on for another 5 games. If you can do it for the rest of the season, it's good. Of course, it's impossible. And even Haaland is having a goal drought for the last few games, but you need that 4 5 games run that you become very important in the team. So that's my score prediction. And as far as the title or the Champions League trophy is concerned, I think it's very early to predict. Last season, at a time like this, Liverpool were leading the table, with 13 points, with 21 points, 21 points, and with a, very good record. PSG were 13th, they are 15th with 13 points, and they ended up winning the league. So in these group stages, you cannot predict anything but to perform very well and know that I outplayed these guys. I outplayed Inter Milan. I outplayed Bayern Munich. I outplayed Atletico de Madrid. So it's about performance and how you perform away and how you perform home. You can perform very well and yet draw or drop some point. No big deal. I mean, number 1 to number 8 are getting the knockout stage spot without any playing playoffs or something like that. So, as I said, this table thing is not important as of now. We just need to use these games for the other games. For example, use this Inter Milan game to bounce back, to play very very convincing game for you to go and win that game against Manchester United, because that is the more important game as of now. Because we might lose against Inter Milan and again lose against Ghairi Almaty and still get a good spot in the round of 16. But if you lose against Manchester United, it's, morale is down, everything is down. You saw Declan Rice yesterday, the game that we drew against Nottingham Forest. He was frustrated. He was like, every fucking time, those are. I now assume they drop point again against Manchester United. Declan Rice will be devastated. The morale, the momentum, everything will go down, and everything will start to crumble. Manchester City are doing well in the transfer market. They are trying to fill all the potholes that they have, signing the best player in Bournemouth, another good player, centre back, one of the good players in the Premier League, McGahey, Semenyo. Those are title-winning players. They're trying to strengthen their team. But us, we don't need any strength. We are already good. We have good squad depth. I mean, Kai Havertz hasn't even played anything, and I am sure he will come in and have those 3 4 games that he will be on fire, and those are the games that you go closer to the title. So that is my score prediction. You are free to comment your prediction, and we will be there tomorrow seeing how things will fold out. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate. Comment, like, and always subscribe for the channel so that we can engage more together. Thank you very much.